Hi guys, how are you? This is Khalifa for a new video in Cyber with Khalifa. Today we're gonna talk about an important topic that all the people talk right now, like you see in the title, we're gonna talk today about is CTF platform like Hack the Box, TryHackMe worth it or not? When I talking about worth it, I talking about the opportunity to have a job later in IT. Okay, I'm not talking about knowledge because you can learn a lot of things from those platforms, but I literally talking about. Literally talking about how after you're gonna have a job, it's having this in your CV is gonna give you much or more opportunity, or it's nothing. We're gonna talk about this today. Let's get started with those platforms. I'm gonna take Hack the Box or TryHackMe, but for beginners, you're gonna start always with TryHackMe because it's the easiest one, and you can learn from the beginning, and you don't know anything in cybersecurity, and you can jump directly and start learning, as many people does this in the past. Uh, it's really great platform. I learned a lot from TryHackMe. I did a lot of boxes and TryHackMe. I'm top 1%, etc. All of those things. Mm, it's truth. I learned a lot. It's a really good platform, but my idea here. Oh, we can take also Hack the Box. You can learn a lot of things. I earned certification from Hack the Box, etc. But for me, when we talk about opportunity to have a job, because you learn cybersecurity to have a job later and get paid for your services, I'm not talking about because I don't know, but me and everyone I know in cybersecurity doing this for a living, working for from 9 to 5 to get money to work. And when I talked with the recruiter, with the hiring manager, with HR, and with also senior cybersecurity consultant, manager in cybersecurity, they always tell me that it's not really important for them. Why? Because it's when you take a CTF. So let me explain. When you take a CTF, and you take TryHackMe CTF, or you take Hack the Box CTF, it's really not the real life. Okay, it's not the real life. In real life, you're not gonna find this in an environment. Like I said, for me, what I tell people always, if you want to progress in cybersecurity, for me, I always said to people, go and build a lab, in cybersecurity, or any a SIEM with Splunk, install firewall, install virtual machines, do some shit in Windows Server, Windows Endpoint, Linux, because like this you're gonna learn a lot of things. You're gonna learn how it's going on, how you're gonna work with those devices, with those softwares. I'm gonna take an example of a SIEM. We're gonna talk a little bit about Splunk. If you want to learn Splunk and you're gonna do some CTFs or something like this, the first of all, you're not gonna find Splunk. It's rare for defensive, and also if you want to learn Cyber Defender and all of those platforms, I also in Cyber Defender I learned a lot. But if you want to learn really Splunk and SIEM, you have to install the SIEM security event information management. If you have to install it, you have to manage it, you have to send log, ingest log, normalize log, working with Splunk, Elasticsearch, Wazoo, all of those software, and here you're gonna like I said, gather have experience using those software. And after, when you do a lot of labs, when you share this in YouTube, when you share this in Medium, when you share this on LinkedIn, and you have a job, now you have an experience. Okay, because if you don't have an experience, if you really stay in TryHackMe, Hack the Box, all those platforms, it's really good platform, but for me, if you wanted to have an experience in your life, you have to install it, and you have to do labs, a lot of labs in your environment. So when you talk about this in an interview, you can talk, you know how it's how this things work, how the software work, how the firewall work, how your things work, how all of those things work. So for me, I'm gonna show you what I do literally. Like this, you can like, I think you see me here. So this is TryHackMe, this is Hack the Box. For me, we're not gonna talk about those today, but what we're gonna talk about Azure. What we're gonna do, you have a lot of things to do, but the first thing is take cloud with your account. You're gonna take open an account. You're gonna get $200 free in Azure, or you're gonna go to AWS. Also the same thing, I think you can get $300 or $100. For us, we don't care for this moment, but or you can get from Scaleway. You can get something like this. Yeah, you can go here, you guys start, and you're gonna buy a box. It's gonna cost you, I don't know, I always tell to people, take this, so you can install a hypervisor like KVM or Proxmox, and you start installing VMs. Okay, and here you're gonna mastering virtualization, how to install KVM, Proxmox, how manage VMs, because all of the on-premise company, they work with KVM or Proxmox or Hyper-V, and also at the same time you work with cloud. You choose Azure or AWS, and you start to learn. Why I do you have to do this with Azure and AWS, and also you do with the Scaleway, because with Azure and AWS you're gonna learn cloud, and with Scaleway you're gonna learn hypervisor, how to work with hypervisor, how to create a virtual machine, and also with Azure or AWS you're gonna learn cloud, how to do VPS, VNet, network, all of those things. Also the same thing in Scaleway. You're gonna learn Linux, you're gonna learn all of those things, and here you're gonna mastering a lot of things that people they don't have, because people they jump there to cybersecurity and they don't know anything about hypervisor, about cloud, about all of those things, and just jump and start as a SEC analyst. And this is the bad way, guys. Okay, so this is my video today. This is where I talked what I really wanted to talk about, like talked about those things, and tell to people stop giving so much time to those platform and those websites, and go and do something important, like creating a firewall, installing a hypervisor like KVM, Proxmox, working cloud like Azure, AWS, and stop doing challenges in Hack the Box all the day. It's not, for me, it's good, but it is not something that you have to do. Okay, If you want to get a job, okay, if you want to get a job after, this is what I tell people, okay. But if you want to stay here and do nothing, you can just doing hack the box machine. So this is for today. Thank you for watching. See you next time.